Gold Squad TV. All right, so Stephen A. Smith went on First Take today. And normally I don't always agree with Stephen A., but on the Brad Stevens subject, he was spot on. He basically pointed out to where it's pretty damn obvious at this point. The players aren't listening to Brad Stevens anymore. He didn't question Brad Stevens' X and O's. Didn't say Brad Stevens is a bad coach. As a matter of fact, I don't think he's a bad coach. I just don't think he's an NBA coach. But nevertheless, Stephen A. was talking about how he sees, every time he watches the Celtics, he sees a talented team, but sees a team that doesn't listen to their coach anymore. The voice has gotten old and on the void. Now, he's extremely right. And even Max Kellerman, who's a Brad Stevens guy, even admitted that he agreed with Stephen A. There comes a point in time where if you want to see change in the performance on the team, the voice that you've been hearing for so long has to go. Now, that said, Danny Ainge said some really disappointing things in an interview, radio interview that he does every morning, I think Thursday morning. He said, and quote, having a coach that's a motivator is overrated. That's what he said. And you wonder why the Boston Celtics organization is a hated organization right now. I truly believe Danny Ainge is trying to take the Celtics away from what made the Celtics the Celtics. I'm really starting to believe that. The Celtics are an organization who not only prided themselves on winning, but winning ugly, winning games that they're going to be bar fights type of games, regardless of the generations. Even if you go back to that 2018 Celtics team, we won a lot of those games for bar burners. We were a tough team. And I feel like Danny's trying to take us away from being a tough team. He's a high believer in the analytics, threes and layups nonsense that I can't stand. He wants to keep Brad there, who's basically a yes man at this point. Which I feel like Danny's really just trying to justify hiring him and justify the fact that he wants people to think he's a genius. And Ainge could deny it all he wants, but it's the fact of the facts. The Celtics are 23-25, and even if they go on a winning streak from here, they're not going to go far in the playoffs, even with that talented team, because they don't want to hear Brad Stevens anymore. I made a video last night, and I did blame the players to an extent, and I still do. I stand on that. But I didn't blame the players over Brad. Brad Stevens is the main problem. The players not getting back on defense and pouting and stuff like that, that's something they gotta fix that eternally between them. And that's something that I'm going to make very known. They're not getting back on defense and complaining about foul calls and stuff. They got to settle that between them. They have a lot of growing to do. I would just say that. But Brad Stevens is the problem. And as long as Brad Stevens is the coach, the growth is going to be stunted, no pun intended, on that team. The team is never going to grow. It's never going to go any further. It's never going to go any further than where they've gotten, which is the Eastern Conference. The ceiling's in Eastern Conference Finals. The low is not making the playoffs. So it is what it is, man. I can sit here and get on some rah-rah speech all day. But it's like it's already a proven fact. What I said all year since last year in the playoffs is correct. Brad Stevens is not built to be this team's coach anymore. And the faster Danny Ainge accepts that, the quicker we will be in getting this team back to where it needs to be. I don't think, despite popular opinion, I don't think this team needs that much weapons on the offensive end. They need more defense, and they need more of a. They need a bench that's reliable. They need shooters. This team doesn't have enough shooters that could take the pressure off of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Those guys are too talented to be shooting. There's no reason Jason Tatum should be going 1 for 8 for 3. There's no reason Jaylen Brown should be shooting threes only. Jaylen Brown's an incredible mid-range shooter. To have his talent taken away, where he can't even post up anymore, is bad basketball. Having Jaylen Brown go all the way to the 40-foot mark to shoot a 3 and barely hit the rim is making Jaylen look bad right now. And Jaylen's depressed. Jason's depressed. Marcus is depressed. Kimba's depressed. They're frustrated. They're tired of hearing this non-motivating coach that they have. So, it's what it is, man. I know Evan Fournier probably, I walked into this. I'm going to go back to Orlando. Cornette, too. All these guys, they probably like, get rid of this dude. Nevertheless, some of you guys are going to defend Brad. It's cool. Defend him if you want. Make your argument. Say what you're going to say. It ain't going to change my opinion. The Celtics team's not going to go anywhere as long as Brad Stevens is the head coach. They need change. How many star players do you know win a championship with the same coach they've ever had? Outside of Kawhi and Leonard, how many star players have won with the coach that drafted them? It never happens. It legit never happens. Change is inevitable. And a breath of fresh air in that locker room and coaching style would be great to keep those guys held accountable. Gold Squad TV, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of Stephen A's comments. Let me know what you guys think of my comments and my opinion. Gold Squad TV.